It's the most wonderful time of the year for beer, Oktoberfest. And this year, I'm making my own at home. This lager is known for being malty, yet crisp, and a little bit on the strong side. And I'm going to show you how to make it in just 2 weeks. I'm Trent Musho, and this is The Brew Show. Let's prost to Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest is the world's largest beer fest, held every year in Munich, Germany, and takes place over the last few weeks in September. I was lucky enough to visit for my birthday last year, and it was a trip I highly recommend for any beer lover. The energy is extremely positive, and everyone is there just having a good time with great beer and great food. For the most part, there are 2 types of beers served: Märzen, an amber and more malty lager, and Festbier, a lighter body and paler lager. Märzen is German for March, and it's named that because typically this beer is brewed in March and is stored in a cold cellar or lagered for 6 months until the festival. Today I'm going to brew a somewhat hybrid, and we're going to use a few techniques to help speed up the process by about 5.5 months. Before we get started, please take a second to subscribe if you haven't already, so you can learn more about how to brew your own beer at home. Now, let's brew. For this recipe, we're making a 5-gallon batch using the brew in a bag method. I start by heating up 6.7 gallons to 161 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm adding some water adjustments to improve the flavor. I'm going for a standard lager water profile. This is an optional step, but it's highly recommended. Once the water is heated up, I add the grain bag and then the grains. For that, I'm using 71% Munich malt. This has a good malty biscuit flavor and adds some nice color. Plus, it makes sense since this is a Munich-based beer. Then 21% Pilsner, another classic German malt and perfect for lagers, and 8% Vienna malt for more added maltiness and color. I plan to mash it at 152 for 45 minutes. After the 45 minutes, I pull the grains and bring the wort to a boil for 30 minutes. At the 25-minute mark, I add my favorite bittering hop. For me, a ½ ounce of Magnum. Then at the 15-minute mark, I add 1 ounce of Tettnanger. This hop is native to southwest Germany and commonly found in beers from the area. It adds floral and herbal notes with a touch of spice. Overall, I'm aiming for 23 IBUs out of these hops. Do you have a favorite German beer style? Let me know in the comments. Also at the 15-minute mark, I add the wort chiller and a Whirlfloc tablet. Lagers are known for being very clear, so the Whirlfloc will help with clarity. At the end of the boil, I turn on the wort chiller and chill down to 65 degrees. At which point I transfer into the fermenter. Using a hydrometer, I got an original gravity of 1.057. Now I add the yeast, 2 packets of Saft Lager 3470. For a long time, the standard practice was that if you can't ferment your lager at temperatures below 40 degrees, then you could not make a lager. The higher fermentation temperatures would create undesirable off-flavors, and with lagers already being so light in flavor, there's not much room to hide mistakes. There have been more studies and experiments that show that you can actually ferment lagers closer to ale temperatures, around 67 degrees, without any noticeable difference or apparent off-flavors. This was an exciting discovery when I first found out that this could be an option. Maintaining ale temperatures is manageable for me, and I found 3470 to be very forgiving for a lager yeast. So to just better my chances for a healthy yeast colony, I threw in 2 packs and set the fermenter in the coolest part of my house. I also placed my fermenter inside a large bucket filled with ice packs and water to keep the temperature as low as possible. By replacing the ice packs every 8 to 12 hours, I was able to average a fermentation temperature of 65 degrees. The added benefit of fermenting lagers slightly warmer is that the beer ferments faster. Instead of having to brew this back in March, I'm able to have this fermented completely in 1 week. After 5 days, the airlock activity started to slow down, so I took the fermenter out of the ice bucket, allowing the temperature to rise for what is called a diacetyl rest. Diacetyl is easy to minimize by allowing the beer to warm up to about 70 degrees and fully ferment out. That extra time at a warmer temperature will give the yeast a chance to clean up the diacetyl and leave your beer with a cleaner taste. So after 7 days total fermentation, I took a final gravity reading, and I got 1.013, meaning this comes in at 5.9%. We officially have beer. Before kegging this beer up, I wanted to try a clarifying agent that was new to me. This one is called Biofine Clear. It's a vegan-friendly product that reduces the haze in your beer. Clarifying a beer naturally happens when you store your beer at cold temperatures, aka lagering. But I wanted to drink this beer fast, so I thought this was a great time to try it out. The instructions said to start small, so I added a half milliliter to the keg and then transferred the finished beer into the keg and applied my desired pressure. Then after a few days, I checked the beer to see how it was clearing up, and I felt it wasn't clear enough. So I added another milliliter, and then checked again in a few days. To be honest, I did this a few times, and all in all I added 3 milliliters to the entire 5-gallon batch. If you're bottling, then you can add this to your fermenter and allow your beer to settle out for a few days before bottling. So, once I couldn't wait any longer, it was ready to drink. The malt of this beer really shines through. I get a strong, bready, biscuity flavor and a nice balance of body and crispness. And the color on this beer is a beautiful gold with a slight amber hue. For the clarity, I think I could have definitely gone with more Biofine, but since it was my first time using it, I didn't want to overdo it. But that's all part of the process of homebrewing. Try something new, take notes, so that next time you can make improvements. If you've used Biofine Clear before, I'd love to hear about your experience. Let me know what kind of dosing you use, or your thoughts on the product. In the end, this was exactly the beer I was hoping for. The perfect drink to wash down a fresh, homemade pretzel. There's only one thing missing. That's better. Prost everyone, and happy Oktoberfest. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And while you're here, check out some of my other videos.